Oh my God. I wish I would stop seeing people go break even after 20, 30 ticks of profit and taking out a swing high. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you progression is hiding right in front of you. Even me, I was a scalper by nature. Everybody seems to be that way, right? You can, easily get in, easily get out. See, a lot of high win rate strategies and try and hop on the boat, right? Simple and easy. But obviously, even with the strategies that do work, it's still just keeping you from being the best you can be. Me personally, I average at least a 5 RR, and regardless of the win rate of any day, right, obviously every day I won't get a trade that holds 5 RR, but I also won't blow through 5 losses, on a day where I notice I'm off sides or something like that, right? So I could have a 20% win rate and still be profitable, right? That means, taking a loss and not, closing the trade when, oh, it gets to break even. Oh, I'm finally, like aiming for a profit number, or, I'm so happy to finally be out of the trade and I'm just stressed out and, not confident in the trade and, oh, I'm out, like, I'm back to break even or whatnot. I can't even remember the mentality I used to think, but I remember having that feeling of, going off sides in a trade, going in drawdown, either not having a stop loss or what I did back then, and, going, deep in drawdown and just stressing. And, price will end up coming back in my direction. And I just closed the trade like, oh my God, I was just down like 500 or 1,000, right? I'm just happy to be back where I am. You know what I'm saying? Um, and not everybody has that confidence to just keep losing, and not saying that I keep losing, but not everybody has that confidence to be able to lose 5 or 10 times in a row and still have that confidence to wake up the next day, or hop on the charts the next day and feel like you're actually going to catch a winner. I'm delusionally confident, like, it doesn't matter what somebody comments, what somebody says to me. I'm gonna be me at the end of the day and hop on the charts and do my thing, right? But once you understand draw on liquidity, right? And for me personally, what I tell everybody, once you understand your narrative, right, your when, your wheres, and your whys, there's, no other option than waiting, for a trade to appear and then holding to your draw on liquidity. And then that's where I come in of loving turtle soups. If I know where price is going to go, all I got to do is wait for an obvious manipulation and enter. An obvious manipulation under an old high or low. It's simple. And I mean, it's almost as simple as, like, I make it look sometimes. Yeah, I'll take losses, but, a 200 tick trade makes up like 10, like it's 10 RR or whatnot. Or like maybe 12 or 15. It just depends, what the chart's showing me. I could have a even smaller stop loss, like 15 ticks sometimes. But, it just depends what the trade's showing. Right? Some people also only like to take 2 or 3 trades a day. So if you do that, same with having a 5 RR, it'll take you 3 days to, one, either blow an account if, that's what you're doing, or either take 2 days to, you know, be ready for a payout. And then you just got to get your days, or, get a consistency rule or whatnot. Um, but, mentality matters once you go into profit just as much as when you go into drawdown, because you can go into drawdown way quicker than you can get out of profit. Right? Having this stop loss allows me to catch the tops and the bottom of the day, right? As well as being able to catch almost, I try and have that first TP at least 200 ticks. right? If I'm turtle souping, obviously, we're holding to EQ. I like to say OT of the range, and then, I'll just usually wait for price to see what it does. If we have like a big SMT or something, like I'll take profits. I think on the trade Wednesday, right? It was a long, and we SMT'd into the London high. I knew the draw was higher. I didn't think all-time high is higher, right? I think it was like a 12 p.m. close, or like some people were saying it closed at 12. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Um, you know, yeah, SMT. We had the big SMT. Took profit, and then just held the runners to the high. But yeah. Anyway, this video just mainly has one big ass purpose, right? And it's just try to get you to understand why, where, and how the market moves, right? Obviously, blah blah blah, how the market moves, like cool, people can say whatever, right? I mean, this is like once you understand it, I know I'm saying like a lot, I'm sorry, but I just really want to put emphasis on it. Once you understand it, there's really like nothing better. And it's not just turtle souping, right? It's an understanding of why and when we're moving from. Even like the short from like last Wednesday, I can't remember. It was last week. There wasn't like a clear like reversal area, and a lot of people was like, why and where did we reverse there, and had to explain to a couple of people. And then as well, like right after the CSID, we see that we've respected that high almost immediately. And I kind of leave these little small pieces in here that you can go on your chart and see. But it was from a 1 hour BPR, right under an order block. And personally, I was even saying I wanted to tap the order block. Um, but right, it left that long wick, and then price just blew through that. Having that understanding of why that happens, also higher time frame, why we reversed, right? Why we just had that quick little pullback and then just continue higher, right? Even I was in short for a swing. I didn't want all-time highs to get ran, but once you see price having these signatures, you got to have an understanding and like, okay, I understand this is going to happen. If this happens, then this is going to happen. If this happens, then this happens, right? And you can have a condition for both ways. Continuing on, right? Enter and gain the confidence to hold and not take profits early, right? You see a lot of people moving their stop loss, moving their take profit. If you haven't constitute a reason to do that, there's no reason to do that. I remember right when not right when, but after I started getting good at catching turtle soups, I would go either break even, right, a little bit early. Actually, honestly, this last Wednesday, right, on the long, I went break even on some of my cons, just because I didn't want price to run the low again, but we didn't run the the high resistance low that we created that wanted to be seen as the turtle soup. And that's all right, that happens, right? I didn't add in more cons. I didn't take out the ones that I had lower, right? The ones that I added in, right? I pulled those and I left the other ones on. Right, I entered the other ones higher, right? We were going long. But anyway, in doing that, right, I broke my rules and did go break even when I really shouldn't have. And I paid for that. And that's even me, still learning this lesson, right? And that's something I preach, a lot. And it's, even I'm still learning it myself, because sometimes you want price to do one thing and it doesn't do it. But being a turtle soup trader, that the original low that you have in mind is still put in place, and it's not invalidated. And that's the big key thing with understanding high resistance lows and low resistance liquidity runs, or excuse me, high resistance highs and lows. Right, we're not always gonna take a low just because it we're the matter of 5 points or maybe even less than that away from it. Right, if it's high resistance, right, we're gonna respond and react to it. Especially having an SMT low, right? If we react and then have an SMT, again, that's even better, right? And as well as having our lower time frame and as inside of the higher time frame SMT. Taking partials is obviously warranted, right? When we come into OTE, a lot of people like to take partials at EQ of the range, and I'll do that. Just seeing, considering how price action is moving, as well as what time I'm trading and if it looks, just how it looks to me personally. But there's a lot of things that come into consideration with that, right? But one big key is, me personally. I say a lot of things are me personally, but they're things I say so much, right? Partialing at OTE, inside of the range, right, is always safe because, that always keeps yourself safe from a seek and destroy day, or whether price, right, wants to wait until, like, if you're trading at the 9:30 and if it wants to wait for the 10-hour close, excuse me, the 4-hour candle close at 10 a.m. to close, right? I mean, to open, then sweep that, high or low, liquidate it, and then, reverse or do whatever price wants to do. Right, another idea as well to keep in the back of your head to maximize RR is knowing when to full take profit, whether to full take profit or let runners run, especially days where we expand, over 400 or 500 points, right? Understanding that we have the draw on liquidity on all-time highs and being confident in it, I would have held runners, but honestly, like with a Wednesday, whereas, a lot of people were saying we're closing at 12, and then today, Thursday was the bank holiday. Price just does what it does and reacts how it reacts to what it shows, and it was, price just wanted to spool upwards, so that's what it does, right? We caught longs, just didn't catch all of it, so it's just another day. I don't mean to go off topic, but that's like, kind of the main point of it, right, is to fully understand, why, when, and what you're doing when you're looking at the chart, and that's how you'll be able to maximize your RR. Even if you're taking, IFEG trades or whatnot, right, if you understand the days when you need to hold longer and why you need to hold longer, right, that'll boost your RR, and, over time, you'll be able to, see more profit, right? But on days that you don't need to hold, if you try and end up holding and, not TPing and then giving back that profit, right? Those are days that's when it gets hard to kind of almost calculate your RR, right? So you have to keep, some things almost mechanical to be able to, not, do dumb things while you're just thinking. Like, obviously, if you take that high, it's good to take profits and go break even, right? Because we've taken, the other end of the range, maybe not the range extreme, but right, the other end of the range that we're looking to, to draw into. How far we expand past it is, right, should be, runners at that point, for sure. And obviously, you're not going to be able to do any of this without having, your own hours on the chart. If you're not actually studying that shit, I mean, I shouldn't even have to say that at this point. Right, a lot of people who are going to be listening to this, you understand by now just utmost importance that you have to be on your own chart, right, at your, own times, just 10 hours a day, bro, like, seriously. Right, obviously a higher RR, I need to quit saying right, Jesus Christ, right, god damn it. A higher RR means you can profit with even a lower win rate, and for example, my RR, I'm gonna have a 20 win rate to be profitable. If I have lower than a 20% win rate, I just need to hop off for a month. Liquidity and market narratives. Draw on liquidity and understanding the market narratives is crucial. That's the whole point of pretty much all of it. Knowing when and where price should move to helps in making informed decisions. When as well. I don't know why I didn't write that in there. Using any strategy, obviously, and finding a way to lower your risk, not position size, but how much you are actually, size wise, like not position sizing, but the size of your stop loss. In my case, using turtle soup, that 20, 30 tick stop loss is always possible. And then that'll yield 200 ticks. That's if I got 20 tick stop loss, I think Wednesday was like 25. It wasn't, a full like 100, 200 ticks that it yielded, but that's easy. I mean, you guys can do math. Only trade your high probability scenarios, right? As anybody would want to be, you want to be in your significant price movements as and before you're reaching your buy side and sell side levels. In the scenarios of this being manipulation, obviously you want to wait for the manipulation to happen, right? Still have your narrative. We don't take, the inside the range trades. We wait for it to sweep one side of the range. Obviously, a manipulation, not a continuation outside the range, trying to turtle soup a continuation. Understanding these market movements will help you hold longer, right, and not exit the trades early, as well as move your take profits, as well as seeing other people do it, right? If you're a part of our Discord, I mean, we don't flame you, but we make it known what you did wrong, and like if I have a wrong day or if I do something, I've been catching fucking a couple retracements this week, and that's no big deal. As long as you still understand how to make that money and, take those trades and when to go break even, when to pull your stop and profit, you'll be fine. Like we talked about, let them hit naturally. Key point, like we talked about, taking partials and knowing when to hold to full take profit, when to take partials, when to pull your stop and profit. All these key things, right? Not something that I'm just going to teach you, spoon feed you, right? There's plenty of videos that I've even posted and, that we talk about that give you reasons to understand why we should hold and then why, right, we should even be taking the trade in the first place and where we should be targeting. Time-based SMTs and time-based liquidity determine when and where the market might be balanced to. I don't know why I'm stuttering like I haven't talked in 4 months. What is going on? This is my second video I've recorded in a minute, but my mouth's dry other than that from talking so much. But like doing one-on-ones, like, my mouth will get dry if I'm talking for 75 minutes, but Jesus. Lord. Obviously, you can find a lot more data than this on, the insides to risk to reward. And there's a lot more things that go into it than just trading. Obviously, whether you're on a mechanical model or you have human thought involved, which we always do because, you have a narrative. Right, so there's a lot of things that come into play. But as long as you can keep it close to a 1-to-1, 51%. 1-to-2, 34. 1-to-3, 26. And we're just going off averages. But obviously you guys can read and do math. And then that comes into a risk to reward versus a win rate chart. Shows a 1-to-9 is profitable. So 20%. And 10% is pretty much damn near break even. 1-to-5 shows non-profitability in the 10% range, with the break-even point around the 15 to 17%, and a profitability above 20%. Coming up to 1-to-1, we see, obviously in the same range, 50% is break-even, where you have to have over half yours to be winners. Where I would say you can easily land with turtle soup is a 1-to-4 with a 60 to even 80% win rate. Shout out to Crunk because he's going fucking crazy. He's going on a pretty good win streak, I'm pretty sure. He might have, I don't know if he's caught a small loss, but all the ones he's like sent with ideas, homie's going crazy. He's better than me. Sometimes writing all that shit in the morning in chat is not the move. So you see here in a line chart, lots of different charts with an unprofitability point and a break-even line, showing your required win rate The lower it is, right, the lower your risk to reward needs to be. Alright, it doesn't need to be, but you guys know what I mean. Right, there's no real chart that I need to hop into with this. You guys see in the last video why I hate on IFPGs, and it also goes into depth a little bit to why I take profits where I do. And also why I'm able to hold, get in where I do and be able to have such a small stop in the turtle soup. And then obviously you guys know you don't know, but if I'm new, I have lots of videos that you can, dive deeper into turtle soup and understand why, when and where. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, you can join the Discord and, from the description. Hope you guys learned something here. Hope you guys just enjoyed the fucking yap session, I guess. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Y'all have a great one.